He is the only person who has answer for all the questions. It is a work of remarkable compassion, insight, hope and inspiration. They have shed your blood and flesh. They have come through you. But even then, they are not belong to you. You copy the ideas of your children because it is different. They have a different ideas. You can give them your love, but your thoughts, your ideas cannot be imposed on the children. A baby is something you carry inside you for 9 months and in your arms for 3 years and in your heart until the day you die. Hello everyone, I'm Babita Tamaya, lecturer, Department of English, Vidyashram Pre-University College, Mysuru. Here again with another new session, a poetry on children. In my last session, we learned about the story which is based on an abuse situation in which a small state is finding too very expensive to either hang the criminal or to keep the criminal in the prison for lifelong. Finally, the criminal was rewarded with a pension of 600 francs to solve the problem of the kingdom. Today, we are here with a philosophical poetry about parenting. Nobody can replace your parents' love. In the same way, nobody can replace your children as well. We have framed an ideology. They are born, they are turned out to be young girls and boys. They graduate, they step into maturity, and they enter into wedlock, and then the chain continues. But the theme of the parenthood remains the same. Here is the author of the poem on children. Khalil Gibran is a Lebanese American artist and poet. His poems considered as poetic essays, as they are adhered to the usual verification. The Prophet is the best known work and has been translated it into more than 25 languages including Kannada. On Children is a selection from the Prophet which carries a critique of the usual expectation of the parents regarding their children and urge them to introspect. Here, the Prophet occupies a unique place in world literature. It is a work of remarkable compassion, insight, hope and inspiration. Everything comes out of a mother. A mother carries a child for 9 months in her womb and the father takes the responsibility for lifetime. So here, both father and mother are irreplaceable. We know that parenthood is not so easy, but the poet says it is easy only when we understand the parenthood philosophically. Here starts the line. And the woman who held the babe against her bosom said, "Speak to us of children." Here, a woman who held a babe in her bosom, that is very close to her heart. Bosom is very close to her heart. Who's holding a baby close heart is questioning. She wants to know about upbringing the children. So she is questioning the Prophet. What she wants to know about the children. She wants to know how to bring up the child. So the Prophet is a God. He is the only person who has answer for all the questions. And he said, "Your children are not your children." So it will be a stunning answer given by the Prophet, because a woman carries a baby for 9 months in her womb with lots of pain. She delivers the baby, and when the Prophet says they are not your children, everyone will be shocked to hear this. And it continues. They are the sons and daughters of life longing for itself. Prophet says, yes, you have given birth. You're done and dusted. Your responsibility was to give birth to a child. You're done with that. Now it's the time for the children. Life longing for itself. In the sense, it is they themselves have to decide their future. He says that your responsibility is over. Giving birth was your responsibility. You're done. Now the child has to think about himself. Life longing for itself in the sense he has to think about himself. It is about themselves. They come through you, but not from you. Yes, they have come through you. They have shed your blood and flesh. They have come through you. But even then, they are not belong to you. And though they were with you, yet they belong not to you. Yes, they will stay with you, but even then, they does not belong to you. Because they belong to nature. The child belongs to nature. The children belongs to nature. Nature in the sense they belong to God. Here, the parents can give their love, but not their thoughts. You can give them your love, but your thoughts, your ideas cannot be imposed on the children. Your way of thinking will be totally different from the children. You want your child to be an engineer or the doctor, but the child's aspiration will be something different. He wants to be a dancer, or he wants to be a singer, or he might want to be a artist. So here the poet says, give them your love, guide them, give them a good education, but not your thoughts and ideas. For they have their own thoughts, because the children have their own thoughts, own ideas, different kinds of aspiration. You may house their bodies, but not their souls. House their bodies in the sense you can protect their bodies, or you give shelter and protect their bodies. But can you protect their souls? It's impossible. You cannot protect their souls. Only you can protect them by giving shelter, food and clothes, but not for their souls. You cannot protect their soul. You cannot protect their pain. Their feelings will be totally different. For their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow. Dwell in the house of tomorrow refers to child's future, which you cannot visit not even in your dreams. You cannot visit not even in your dreams. We have seen our past, our present and our future. Dwell in the house of tomorrow refers to child's future. The child himself or herself have to think about their future, not to depend on the parents, or not to take the ideas and the thoughts of the parents and move about, because their thoughts is totally different from their houses. Their future cannot depend on the parents for their future, because you may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. The poet says that you copy the ideas of your children, because it is different. They have a different ideas, but don't make your children to learn your ideas and your thoughts. If I ask the child to dress up like a retro every day, will they do it? Will they like? No. Sometimes, occasionally for functions, they are ready to do it. But every day, if you people ask them to do, no, they will not agree for this. For life goes not backward, not tarries with yesterday. Does the life goes backward? Do we have a reverse gate to go backward? No, we don't have. So it moves forward. So the prophet is just trying to say, your ideas and the thoughts, whatever you have learned in your past, don't try to impose the same thing and continue forward. Whatever you have learned, it's the backward. So now you have lots of ideas, lots of opportunities. It's a new generation. So your child will follow into that generation. You are the bows from which your children are leaving arrows are sent forth. Here, bows refers to parents and arrow refers to children. So you're the bow. Who is the bow here? The parent is a bow and the arrow is the child. So without bow, arrow is incomplete, and without arrow, bow is incomplete. You cannot compromise with your profession and passion. When you love your passion, so you love your profession. Don't compromise anywhere in this situation. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might, that his arrows may go swift and far. Here, archer, who is archer here? Archer is God. So God sees everything. Without His power, you cannot do anything. You cannot question His power. For whenever we have difficulty, every day we don't pray for God, but when the difficulty comes, we'll just run towards the God, so that we believe that God is there. God is still existing. So here he says, Archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite. He bends you with his might, that his arrow may go swift and far. He knows what is good and what is bad, what the child can to be, how can he reach towards his destination. And he also helped with all his powers, he helped the child to reach the destination. And he says, he bends you with his might, that his arrow may go swift and far. So when the bow is bent, what happens? The arrow goes and reaches its destination. That only with the power of the God you can, or with the help of the God, you can reach your destination. The parents will give a good education, good guidelines, everything. But the most important part is here of God also. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness. For even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves the bow that is stable. Here, the author loves bow and arrow. Arrow which flies far to reach the destination, and the bow will be stable. Stable in the sense, the stability. It means to say that it accepts everything the way it is. We'll move on to the next. It's a glossary part. Nothing out of the text. It is the thing that you need to know these words. You should be familiar with these. And I'll be back with another new session. Genre, everything I need to know I learned in the forest by Vandana Shiva. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of dreams. Thank you.